Oh, okay. I see your boy is on Fox News. What does he have to say? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Tirade TV. Glad you can all join me. If you like this type of content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. All comments are welcome as long as it's tasteful and respectful. And you know how I like to do it? Let's jump right into it. Um, I used to be the biggest ESPN fan ever, right? And my favorite personality at the time was Stephen A. Smith. I love the fact that it seemed like he was just bold and basically said what was on his mind. And recently, over the past couple of years, honestly, I think they've been a little bit more on the woke side than I would like them to be, which is why I haven't really been watching it a lot. But Stephen A. Smith kind of surprised me a little bit. He was actually on Fox News, and yeah, I pretty much figured that he was maybe on the Democrat side, uh, more liberal minded. But he did actually impress me with what he said on this show. Let's get to the Fox News channel YouTube page here and actually see what he said. And like I said, he kind of surprised me a tad bit. He was on with Jesse Waters, prime time on Fox News. Let's take a listen to what he had to say, and we kind of break some of it down, or I'll just express my opinion on it. Right? Let's have a listen.
The host of No Mercy with Stephen A. Smith podcast, and he joins me now. So you're in charge. We're going to make you president. What is the Stephen A. Smith platform to solve the crime and homelessness crisis?
Well, first of all, I did not know you dropped this on me. I certainly didn't know we were going to be talking about this, but I'm game for it. Thank you so much for having me. There is no question that a lot of these issues need to be addressed. There is no question that we should be against an extremely progressive agenda that's calling for people to be released from prison on multiple occasions, that's ignoring a lot of crime that's taking place in the streets. There is no doubt about that. Where I don't vibe with.
So Stephen A. Smith seems to be awakened to the fact that crime is on the rise. This progressive agenda of just releasing people from prison, giving them a slap on the wrist and letting them out so they can go out and commit crimes. Once again, possibly even take lives, commit murders, homicides. Once again, he seems to be awakened to that, the fact that this shouldn't be happening, and he actually admitted that these are progressive policies. So he actually admitted that. So I can say this, I am kind of surprised that he's not just kind of saying what ESPN wants him to say. He's kind of thinking with his own mind. Let's put it that way when it comes to this. But I mean, he's right. It's progressive policies, and there need to be something done about it. So let's see what he goes on to say here.
With you, Jesse Waters, who I respect, is that when you talk about politicians themselves being innocent, they're not innocent in all of this. A matter of fact, in some instances, the division that exists and has existed for so long has contributed to kind of some of the nonsense that's been taking place in the streets. It doesn't excuse it, doesn't mean it doesn't have to be addressed.
Where do we disagree? I feel like we're in agreement on everything.
Okay, come on. I'm just saying, you said earlier in your great monologue how the politicians themselves were like innocent for crying out loud.
No, I'm not
You
saying they're
alluded to
innocent.
that.
I didn't say that. I said they're acting like they're the victims when you call them out for not doing their job.
Well, some of them. Well, actually, a lot of them deserve the criticism that they're getting. There is no doubt about that. But I would definitely be big.
He's right. A lot of them do deserve criticism, if not most of them.
The subway system in New York City, you're damn right. I got a problem with that. Something needs to be. I'm a native of New York City.
Yeah.
I took the F and the E train all the time. I wouldn't want my family traveling on the subway right now.
Same with me, not anymore. Do you take the subway anymore? I feel like you don't.
Well, I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
What a question. Stephen A. Smith does not take the subway anymore.
You get popular and stuff like that. You try to avoid crowds.
You're too popular to take the subway.
I was in LA. I was in LA. The homelessness that exists there, I got an issue with that. Certainly, when you look at Gavin Newsom and some of the policies that he's put forth, you're talking about a lot of different things that need to be addressed. I don't agree with everything, and I'm not about to pretend that I do.
See, now he surprised me again there by speaking out against certain things that Gavin Newsom is doing. I thought he would be one of those guys who are like, sure, Gavin Newsom is great. Everything he does is wonderful. But he did speak up against some of the policies. He had an issue with the homelessness there. And I agree with him on that also. Uh, I don't know, feel very strange, very weird saying I agree with Stephen A. Smith on some things, but I actually do on that. Um, once again, he's awakened to some things. I just have a feeling that there's still pretty good ways or pretty far ways to go with him. But I believe there are certain things that he's speaking on right now that he may not get much criticism for from the leftists or from, ESPN or Disney, who owns ESPN. Uh, he may not get much criticism on that. But I guarantee you, if he asked him about abortion or child sex trafficking, oh, I guarantee you, we'll see a completely different look on his face, probably a completely different demeanor, um, probably a little more hesitancy in his answers if he was to ask that question. But I don't think Jesse Waters is going to ask that question, at least not publicly. He may have asked him off camera, off the mic, but I don't think he's going to ask that. But let's see what else Mr. Smith has to say.
Okay. I want to play some sound because a lot of people have been talking badly about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're with her or against her, but this is what your boy Bill Maher said about her possibly getting dumped by Joe. Listen.
It's very hard to take the nomination away from the president.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
A sitting president. And what I could see is replacing the vice president because, yeah, she's not very popular anywhere. And it didn't seem to work out. And I don't know, that's been done before on a ticket. I just think she's a bad politician. And I think she's a very bright person.
She's bad. Do you think she's bad?
I'm not going to go that far. I will say this to you. I think we got to remember the words that he said. He said she wasn't a great politician. He also acknowledged that she's very smart and he believes she's capable, but she's just not doing a great job as a politician. I, believe it or not, I think that she's a highly intelligent woman that unfortunately doesn't have an opportunity to showcase her intelligence.
Really? She's got the second biggest job in the country.
Well,
she hasn't had the opportunity.
Can I address that?
Please.
When you work for an administration and you've alluded to other people running the administration, and you have all of these people literally trying to tell you at the very least what to do, that's problematic.
So you're saying it's Joe Biden's fault she's a bad vice president?
No. Ultimately, it comes down to her. I can't absolve her from accountability. You asked for that seat. You're in that seat. I think she needs to do a better job. There's no question about it. Because a lot of times I'm looking at Kamala Harris and I'm just saying, you are a highly intelligent and accomplished woman. Will you tell us what you?
I don't think anyone will debate that once you reach a certain level in politics, especially where Kamala Harris is right now, Vice President of the United States, I do believe that there's a huge amount of intellectual capability that she has. My only thing is I feel that, and I've said this in one of my previous videos, probably about 4 months ago, as I have a feeling that the Democratic Party is using women of color, or more specifically Black women, to get a particular agenda accomplished. What I don't like about her is the fact that kind of how she got to where she is. I mean, there are rumors of her allegedly basically sleeping her way to the top. I think it was the mayor of Los Angeles or somewhere out there, Willie Brown, allegedly had an affair with her. And he basically pretty much commented that, yeah, she kind of slept her way to the top, allegedly. But also, at some point, as a woman of color, she considers herself a woman of color. I think, what is she? Part Indian, part, black, I guess, whatever. But at some point you have to look and say, look, these other women of color, Karine Jean Pierre, the press secretary, um, I forget the other lady, Jackson Brown, whatever, the lady that was just confirmed to the Supreme Court. Um, I think you have to at some point look and say, hey, you're using these women of color or black women. You're using them to get a specific agenda across, which is why I fall out what Kamala Harris said, is because she's down with whatever agenda. She's down with this progressive slash leftist slash socialist slash Marxist agenda. That's where you lose me at. So if she's so smart and and she's so intelligent, then obviously she knows what the agenda is. I don't think she's that clueless to the point where she does not see what's going on. Stephen A. Smith says she hasn't actually had a chance to prove who she is. If I'm not mistaken, though, has she not been offered to go down to, was she not the border czar? Was she not supposed to go and handle the southern border crisis? And if I'm not mistaken, she never actually went to the southern border. I think she went somewhere near, somewhere close, but not exactly where all the mayhem is happening. And I think she should have gone there. Is it dangerous? Absolutely. But should she have gone? Yes, because she's the vice president of the United States. That's why she should have gone. And because, as he said, Stephen A. Smith, she asked for this position. So if you ask for this position or you accepted this position, um, you should be willing to go down there, regardless of what type of chaos is going on. Because the people in Texas, those southern border towns and counties down there, they don't have the option to say, nah, you know what? Not gonna go to the southern border. I'll wait till whenever. I'll go somewhere else first. Those people don't have that option. So as the vice president of the United States of America, you should be going down there and showing that you're a leader, and she's not doing that. And before we go any further, I know you're gonna probably have some black people out there who's saying that I'm dissing, the black leader or the black woman, whatever. Hey, as Stephen A. Smith said, she put herself in this situation. She asked for this. She asked for it. And even he also said that he holds her accountable. We can sit here and blame Biden, who at this point I'm pretty much convinced he doesn't even know he's the president of the United States of America right now. But she asked for it. And at some point as the vice president, I'm sure she has had the opportunity somewhere to express her opinion, somewhere to put her foot down, somewhere. Like you don't just become the vice president of America not not have an opportunity at some point to voice your opinion, to put your foot down. But that's just what I think. Let's see what Mr. Smith has to say.
Truly think, instead of giggling all the daggone time, every time
giggles a
somebody
lot.
asks you
She
a
do be
question,
giggling all the time.
she can bring a lot if she had, as far as I'm concerned, I believe if she had the freedom to truly speak her mind and be as raw and as authentic as she wants to be. I think she's been encouraged not to. I think as a result, be trying to disguise what you truly feel, you get caught. If she ain't Jesse Waters, she ain't Stephen A. Smith, she ain't gonna just say what the hell she feels.
My opinion, once again, if somehow Kamala Harris was in a position of power, or more so than what she is right now, or as he says, had a better opportunity to express her opinion and show what she really is or who she really is, I got something for you, Stephen A. You would be the first one of the people. You'd be one of the first people to go. You know why? Because if she really wanted to do what she really, let's put it this way: if she could really do what she really wanted to do, it would be more of a female slash woman agenda. Like even right now, you see that the Democratic Party, all the big promotions that they've given have been to black women or women of color. Not once have they really set up a black man. God gave a black man uh, a promotion within this Democratic Party. Since Biden has been in office, how many women have he helped rise, and how many black men has he helped rise? You see what I mean? Therefore, I would think you would be one of the first people to go, because honestly, I think these leftist women, I don't think they like men, and I definitely don't think they like black men. I mean, obviously, Kamala Harris, she's married to a white guy. You know, that's the one thing about these women that they're choosing. These women, black women, so-called women of color that they're choosing, is they're not married to black men. Either they're married to a white man, which is fine, but you can't come out later and say, "Oh, the white man is the most dangerous thing in America," and then be married to one. Doesn't make sense. But if they're not married to a white man, they consider themselves to be part of the LGBTQ, and they're married to another, or so-called married to another woman. They let you know this is a woman/LGBTQ agenda. So Stephen A. Smith, you as a black man, you might be one of the first people to get to go, because not only are you a black man, you are a black man that's smart, highly intelligent, and you have a platform where you can affect change. I don't know if the Democratic Party want that, or if they're looking for that from a black man right now. Just my opinion, but let's see.
She's going to say what they want her to parrot. And as a result of that, she finds herself, I think, looking worse than she actually is on many occasions.
Am I your favorite Fox News host?
No. Believe it
Dang,
or not,
truthful.
You're a close second to Sean.
Truth hurts.
I have to admit it. I can't deny it. I've known the guy for years. I don't agree with either of y'all at least 50% of the time.
Well,
but
you
y'all
agree
do
with
make
me
good points.
100% on this show.
Well, listen, I will say this. Y'all do make a lot of. Listen, I am not a Republican. I'm not a conservative, but I am a common sense individual.
Yeah, we know
and
that.
When you're right, you're right. And I'm not going to deny that some of the things that y'all say are on point. Right. I think y'all let some of the Republicans off the hook sometimes.
Who am I letting off the hook?
I didn't say you did that today. That's a lengthier conversation.
Okay,
Jesse.
we don't have time for that. We have time to plug your new podcast. What's that going to be about?
So, as you see there, Stephen A. Smith really kind of surprised me on some things. He's one of those guys that he has a huge platform. And I do believe that, it's just my opinion, that if Kamala Harris was ever to really put her foot down and get what she wanted, I just think there are a lot of men who have huge platforms that would really have to be looking over their shoulders, because I think one of her primary goals or her agenda would be to put women in those positions. So as much as he may be rooting for her now, and yeah, he was truthful on some things, and he did actually, at the end of the day, hold her responsible for her shortcomings as VP. He needs to know that if and when she does put her foot down, people like Stephen Smith himself, maybe even Shannon Sharp, what's the other guy? Trying to remember the guy's name. I can't remember the guy's name right now, but need to really watch out, because before you know it, another woman of color will have your job, and you may have not done anything to lose it, but another woman of color will have your job. And there's nothing wrong with the woman of color having a job if she's good enough, and if she's got it fairly. Not because she's a woman of color, but because she's good enough to handle her business when she gets the job. So Stephen A., I see you're awake on some things, but other things you really might want to watch out for, buddy. That's just my opinion. What do you all think about this here? Stephen A. Smith, you love him? You hate him? Do you think he had some points on this? Do you think he's maybe awakening a little bit? Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. And always remember, this show is actually sponsored by TiradeTV.com. Go on the website, pick you up a t-shirt or a hoodie. Have some other things coming soon. Support the channel. We'll definitely appreciate it. Support an American. Support a patriot. Myself. and also support the United States of America. Thank you very much for that. And as I always leave you, we must be a praying people and a praying nation. See you.